All right, welcome everyone. We've got Wolf Capital here today. We're going to do a live AMA. So would love it if you guys would obviously like and subscribe to bring some attention to them and bring some more people in. And the usual, I do appreciate if you guys can put some comments down below. Let me know what you want to know. We will get to them, but obviously we got the usual kind of song and dance to start off with. And starting right off with that, I would love it if you two would like to introduce yourselves to start us off, just about you guys, and then we'll do the 40-foot view of the project, and then get right into some questions and some things that we'd like to talk about today.
Yeah. I'm owner and CEO, Wolf Capital, Travis. Um, you know, uh, you guys already pretty much know everything about Wolf Capital. As you guys are the second largest wolf pack. Am I right?
Somewhere in there, yeah. Surprisingly.
Yeah, yeah. You guys have actually killed it, and it's been great so far. We're growing, consistent growth, and uh, sustainability is obviously the number one key factor in it all, which is what we're doing. So, but yeah.
Nice. And the emoji down below.
The emoji, yeah. Hey, thank you for having us back at Aces. This is Axtoria. But yeah, I'm the dev of Wolf Capital, and yeah, pretty much we've been doing great so far. Congrats on increasing your Wolf pack. You guys have been doing an amazing job, and yeah, looking forward to answering all of your questions and clearing up things for your community.
Awesome. Yeah, we got some people in the audience. So like I said, please put some comments and questions down there below. Obviously, like I said, I've done some content on the whole protocol. Yes, we've had a wolf pack that's grown, whether from me or wherever. I don't know how it all happened, but it's there, which I enjoy the returns and doing some giveaways with some of the money I earn on the back end of that. Obviously, the biggest thing for me, and I, again, there's been AMAs and stuff. So if people want to watch content on how to do everything and how to process navigate through the DApp and all that jazz, there's lots of places for them to do that. So we won't get too far into that. Obviously, you guys have done some past projects. Some things have gone well, some things have not. I don't need to get into that again as well, but I do appreciate the fact that this one here is going very, very well and blowing up quite nicely for you guys. But along with that 2% is getting higher and higher, and the revenues seem to be possibly not quite hitting that yet. So my biggest question, I think the biggest thing I want to get out of this chat with you guys is what are you guys doing, and maybe what's the next steps to trying to make sure that this is sustainable for the long time?
Yeah, so we're already doing that. We've got a migration coming up here shortly. We got a new contract with a bunch of upgrades on it that are going to allow us to adjust the divs. There's some other upgrades on it. I'll let Ox kind of talk about the rest of them, but the major one that we're doing is where we can adjust those divs so that we are, going to stay balanced with what's coming in instead of having that gap get bigger and bigger. We're going to concentrate on closing that gap. The market's been extremely well to us here pretty much since we started. We've also got we're also going to get some customized bots. We're going to get out of the 3 commas centralized exchange. We're going to work on the decentralized side of it, so that way it's more customizable, automated. Everything be optimized to continue getting better and better with profits that are coming in. So that's the other new thing that we're working on, getting some more people added to the team to help us. And since we're growing quite fast, we'll get some people coming in to help us out, and in those certain expertise levels of trading and then dev work and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts right now. I know we don't quite announce every little thing that we're doing just because of sometimes it is just kind of talk in the air, but every day we're constantly growing, and we're constantly working, and we're constantly trying to figure out our next 15 moves before we need to make them. So don't get us wrong, we're not going to announce every little thing, but when we do make a big change, of course we'll let everybody know. So
Yeah, and it wasn't really a trick question to come out of the gate with that one,
Right.
but because I do know you guys in the background are trying to do stuff, and I do keep in contact with Rio, and I do appreciate what you guys are trying to do here. But I
Yeah.
do want to make sure, for everybody's sake, that they know that you guys are pivoting fast, because most projects, unfortunately, as we've seen, pivot way too
Right.
late.
Yeah,
So
and those guys, what they do is they collect those fees and they sit there and they just watch. They don't do that. We're trying to actually grow into an entire ecosystem. This is just like we've said 1,000 times. This is just the beginning. So once we get this situated, our upgrades come in on the contract. We've got 15 other steps that we're going to take, and we've got some pretty exciting stuff down the pipeline that we're once we're there, we'll announce it. We'll let everybody know kind of what's happening. But right now, our main focus right now is just that sustainability side, because we don't want this to end or get completely upside down on divs and the ratio of what we're bringing in. So once we get this upgrade happened, that's going to fix a lot of stuff. So
yeah, and in the past, I mean, again, from your past experiences, you've been able to use that, and you've already done things that are definitely eons ahead of what was happened before. Just in the fact that you are using trading bots and trading to do this in order to create something that actually is real revenue, and not just relying on what other projects do to whether you're going to succeed or not. So it's now on your guys' back, which is amazing, and I appreciate that. And some great comments coming in. Obviously, there's lots of supporters you guys have. Rio, did you have anything else you wanted to say along those lines?
Yeah, I do. So Trav did mention the migration that we're gonna have. So that's very important, and actually it's gonna be announced over the next few days. So one thing I have to say regarding the migration, most importantly, it is so that we increase the sustainability, which is key for us, for our team. It's key that we work towards sustainability, even given the fact that so far since we have launched, we have been generating profit week after week, and obviously Trav has done a spectacular job with that. However, on the back end of stuff, like I said, for us, it's key to work towards sustainability, and that's exactly what we're going to do with the upcoming upgrade that we're going to have. As most importantly, it's going to allow us to adjust the daily percentage between the 1% and 2% daily, depending on how we are performing with the external revenue, on which I'm going to touch base as well, because I have important things to remark as well. Now, I do have to say that, probably the majority of the users in the DeFi space haven't had a good experience with migration and upgrading and so on. But over the past couple of weeks, I have been working in the back end and making sure that the migration is just going to take a couple of hours, like something up to 3 to 4 hours, and the users of Wolf Capital wouldn't have to do anything. So for them, basically the DApp is just going to be down for a couple of hours, and afterwards they're going to continue with their stakes. Nice. So it's going to be a pretty smooth upgrade. Now, what's important for the upgrade as well is that it's going to allow us to work on scalability, which is very important for us as well. As we have been speaking over the last couple of weeks, we have been discussing ideas with Trav and the entire team regarding scaling Wolf Capital, and that's very important. Very soon we're going to have a specific announcement regarding that, because we have something very bullish and something that I'm really excited about. But in terms of external revenue generation, I wanted to say about that as well. We have already mentioned that we're going to integrate a DEX arbitrage bot, which is basically going to be added upon us upgrading, like very short after we upgrade the contract. And basically, this is definitely going to help with the dividends and the daily percentage backing it. Even if the bot generates between 0.1 and 0.5% per day, it's still going to be immense help towards what we're trying to do. Make the entire capital that we have on hand and operating with, make it work so that it generates profit for our investors, and that's the key towards what we're working with. And I'm really excited about what's coming next. We're working very hard, and yeah, that's what we're doing.
Good. So, and it sounds like, and obviously there's not a lot of detail there, which is, it's fine. I understand you can't give all the alpha out to one person. But it sounds like you're going to be trying to scale things both in a profit generating side of things, as well as profit or emissions lowering side of things. And you'll have both of those that you can scale up and down to help give a lot more organicness to the, how you can adjust things going forward, I guess, right?
Completely,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so a couple of things, I'll just throw some things out there. So obviously sustainability, of course, 8% a week is great results, but how or more, so, and this is what you've kind of gone through there. So nothing concrete yet, but definitely stuff that's very imminent, unlike, again, other things where it's too late by the time it happens. We're talking like days and weeks, not weeks and months, right?
Right. So you have to think of like our ecosystem right now is like an economy all by itself because it is decentralized. So you have to think of like what parent, like, so there's inflation basically sitting right now.
Yeah.
With that gap that we have between what we owe in divs and then with the profits that we've generated. So we're going to need to close that gap. And in order to do that, we're going to have to drop those divs, but not like in a considerable pace. We'll adjust and then we'll see where we're at and then adjust and see where we're at. Just kind of basically like the Fed does with the economy today.
Yeah. And
So,
you guys have remained above, sorry to interrupt, but you guys have remained above 1% anyways. So
Yeah,
your base rate, you've been doing very well at closing the gap there. It's just that additional emissions, which is not as big a feat as other things. But anyway, sorry, Travis.
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're fine. And it's not a considerable gap. I haven't ran the numbers in a long time. But I think last week it wasn't that bad. It's something that it could be fixed within a month pretty easy. So once we we'll lay out, I'll have to run a bunch of numbers and I'll have to lay out a plan forward. And then once I announce it, we'll have something in concrete. But until we migrate and get that finished, we'll move on to that next step. So.
Okay. And along those same lines, I guess what the investors or members can do, I guess, is really that 50-50 strategy, which does basically make even the wolf packs that are 2%, it sort of makes them earn 1%, obviously a little bit more than that because of the compounding effect, but that gives you guys some time. Not only that, and I guess another thing to point out with that is the fact that not everybody got in day one. So there's
Exactly.
that big, large gap, which is amazing too. So you guys have been as responsible as you possibly can be, which I do appreciate. I'm not trying to just give you guys all the praise, but I do want to make sure we talk about the pros and the cons as a whole, because I think that's important for people to understand. So yeah, sorry, I was going to, was it this one here? Oh yeah, so somebody was asking about the lottery setup. I do find that seems to be lopsided, if I'm not mistaken, how that's kind of worked out. Is there any plans around that?
Ox, if you want to take that one, because that lottery was pretty much all your stuff there.
I didn't really get the question, Pocket Aces. Can you?
I guess they're wondering if there's any adjustments being made to the lottery idea, because I think it was. I mean, obviously, it was a great idea to help bring people in and help, but it seems to. I could be wrong, but it's mostly going to one wolf pack, which is great. I mean, they're the ones bringing in the money. But is there any changes along those lines to help close the gap? Just a question somebody asked, so I thought it was a neat one.
Yeah. So far, the majority of the work that I have done has been on improving the sustainability and basically scaling. But I actually haven't really thought about the lottery. But yeah, you're completely right. Like it has been going to the G5 Snipers Wolfpack, which is the biggest one. Like the entire concept behind the lottery has been to bring competitiveness between the Wolfpacks on Wolf Capital. For that price pool, obviously, but yeah, there's quite a gap, and I'm definitely gonna think about it. Like, I'm open to ideas, actually. Like, if somebody has any ideas regarding what we can improve on the lottery, or we can just simply add another kind of lottery on the Wolf Capital as well, I'm open to ideas, guys. Anybody can send me a DM on Telegram and chip a few ideas. We can discuss them. I'm always open to innovating.
Nice. And so Dave just asked, I guess. So I guess how much money's left? I don't know if you can go into numbers, and it sounds like you're already looking to try and decentralize that a little bit. But obviously, the funds mostly are sitting in centralized exchanges right now.
Yeah, so we've got currently right now 5. We're fixing to open up a 6th centralized exchange. So I don't allocate every. Yeah, I don't throw everything all in one. Just because of what we've seen with FTX, other smaller exchanges and bigger ones too. But yeah, that's all part of the whole risk management thing. So we use 15% for futures trading, which is our most profitable area, but at the same time, it's the highest risk. So we've had bad days and we've had great days. So I try not to do anything more than 15% of what's in the portfolio in futures for leverage, and then the rest gets scattered across the other 5 exchanges, fixed to be 6, and then but yeah.
Nice, good. And I don't think we had a date yet, but obviously somebody was just asking when migration is going to happen. You guys are saying, I think, weeks.
Well, we are going to have an announcement over the next few days, and as soon as everything is finalized, because I am checking everything, on testnet to make sure that everything is smoothed out and it's going to be a completely smooth process, which is the most important thing. With whatever I have been doing in the DeFi space, I have always aimed towards having smooth working dApps, and with this migration specifically, because it's not an easy one. I want to make sure 100% that everything is gonna be working properly, and it's gonna be smooth for the users, because we're not a small project. Like we've grown a lot, which is amazing, and it is serious, and I do take my responsibilities very seriously. So I want to make sure everything is working properly, and then we're going to make the announcement. It's going to be over the next few days.
Okay, perfect. And this one here, I do, and guys, thank you so much for the questions. It makes my job a lot easier, which is always a bonus. But will there be a cap or anything? Because I do know that obviously we have seen in the past projects that do gain some really nice legs, which you guys have done, and that's amazing. But that can also come with its risks of getting too big. And we've kind of hinted on some of those with some of the other questions. But is there an opportunity to do a cap, possibly to just kind of let things stabilize and run for a bit? Or is it kind of, you think you've got the right plan in place that you can kind of just let it go if it goes?
So one thing which is important to note, right now with the upgrading of the contract, we're going to be on a proxy contract, and basically what this is going to do, it's going to allow us to make changes on the contract without having to do any more migrations. And yeah, we're definitely going to be able to put a cap. I'm going to let Trav speak more about that. Just for at this moment, we personally don't think it's necessary, but we can do it further down the road, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, if with our next plans or next phase, what's going to happen, I don't think it's going to be necessary for that cap. I can't go into much detail, where we're going after this, but when you find out, it'll make a lot more sense. But at this time, no, we've got no desire to cap it. We're going to continue with the growth that we've got. Because it is doing all the good right now. So
nice. No, and if you've got a plan, that's all I really want to know. As long as you're hindsight. So okay, nice. And I know that somebody asked this, and I do know the answer, but I'll let you guys maybe obviously go through that. That's one of your claim to fames. I think the things that you've done a little bit differently than others. So probably not a bad idea to tell some people if they're new to hearing about Wolf Capital what this does.
So the mechanics of that it's pretty simple. It's so kind of, we got the idea from our previous project that I had that went through a bank run, and we weren't able to do anything. So we added a halt on this one. So if we do see any kind of volatility inside the contract with heavy withdrawals, or a start of a bank run, or if we kind of see rumors in the community talking about it, we will halt withdrawals. We will talk with the community. We'll assess the situation at hand and see what, if we can continue. At that point, if we can't, then of course we'll issue withdrawals, in an orderly fashion, so that way everybody can get their money, and that way you can sleep easy knowing your money's safe. We don't want to have anybody lose money. That's the whole point of starting a project, is to create passive income for the community, not just for one person. So.
The point for most projects anyways, luckily, hopefully.
Well, that should be the one thing on everybody's mind whenever they start a project is, I want to create passive income for the community, not just for themselves.
Agreed. Definitely wish we had more of us like that in here in the space.
Right.
So are you a Bud Light guy? I don't know. Doom likes to say funny things all the time. So.
No, I am not a Bud Light. I've never
Yeah,
been a Bud Light guy. And after all this BS that I saw, well, yeah. No, yeah, I'm not a Bud Light guy.
No worries. And Andy joined us too. I know you guys are friends of his. Actually, I met you guys through Andy, who's definitely one of the greats in this space. So I appreciate him and his time. So shout out to you, sir.
Shout out to you, Andy. He's a great guy.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So I had some other questions in my Discord that I kind of quickly glanced over. We got to most of them, but I don't multitask well. So just seeing if there was anything else and anything from the audience. We had a great group of people here, bigger than some of my AMAs. So I appreciate your guys' support for both Wolf Capital and myself. And don't forget to hit that like button again. Let's just see what's going on in this one here. Are there key parameters being the project supervised, automated? So I guess this is just asking how you guys are running things. And is it mostly just yourself right now, Trav, that's doing some of the trading and all that stuff, from what I understand?
Yeah. So basically, right now the bots that I run, I turn them off and on, turn them off and on. They each do separate coin, separate strategy. I probably have 100 of them. I have, of course, my top 20 I look at that perform better than most, and then I have then of course I do manual trades too. When I have time, I'll sit there and I'll kind of watch everything. But depending on what the market's doing is which ones I turn on and which ones I turn off. And then of course we have the grid bot that runs 24/7. That one is it's a pretty average steady percentage that comes out of it a week. And then which one? The AI bot, which is pretty conservative. That one's completely automated. Doesn't really put out quite a big number, but it's good if I have 60, 70K just sitting there not doing anything. I'll toss it in there, and it always spits out maybe 1 to 2% or something like that during the week. And then let's see what else. And then the other ones are just DCA bots that run off of, and those combine too with our futures bots. So, but yeah,
and I think there's something else coming too that you guys said, that where the money that's even sitting in the contract will now be put to use, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be the arbitrage bot from it's a DEX arbitrage bot from Oxria. He's been developing it for a while. So we'll be able to put that money to work as well. So especially since we're coming up on those first 60 days, we're having to leave a little extra cash in the contract. So having that in there is going to be a huge help. That'll definitely get some profits running from it too. So
nice. And kind of two-pronged question that seem to become up side by side. Obviously, the worst case scenario, everybody always likes to ask about that. And then along with that, I guess, to second to that question, and then you can answer kind of both of them, is there any treasury or to protect investors in case anything goes wrong? So do you guys have kind of a backup, anything? Is there anything to speak to either of those questions?
Yeah. So, I mean, the worst case scenario, because we do rely heavily on the market, if there's an apocalyptic event, crypto is dead. That would be the worst case scenario.
And we're all affected by that. Doesn't matter what project.
Exactly. Yeah. That would just be our worst possible case. And then a treasury. So basically, right now we don't have anything as a treasury because all the profits are being put back into the portfolio and then reinvested all over again. Once we begin to profit in terms of where we're surpassing those divs every week, and we close that gap, and the portfolio as a whole, or Wolf Capital in a whole, begins to profit, and we have a surplus, then that would be the idea. Is we would set that money to the side as a just in case rainy day type scenario. So
nice. And if you're diversified enough, it becomes less of a need anyways, right. I guess on top of that. So
yeah.
And just going through, so a couple of positive comments and stuff. And so obviously, I think we already talked about this. You already said that the team is going to be scaling and growing a little bit now as you guys get more money.
Yeah.
So from from a mom and pop shop to a little bigger company. So yeah. Somebody just asking, I guess, with the bots you guys have, and I think I've seen this question too. I apologize. So I should read through some of them, but at the same token, some of them I think are worthwhile. Any thoughts on creating other revenue sources with some of the products you guys have and are using in the back end?
Yeah. So we're working on getting an affiliate with BitGet right now. They reached out through EAM crypto or EMA crypto. I always forget. But anyways, he's got some friends there with BitGet. They reached out. They want to do like an affiliate program. So if we get that affiliate with them, there's supposed to be some sort of extra source of revenue with people signing up under us, and then also doing some copy trading as well. There would be some sort of profit sharing. So there'll be another way to get that, but we have to see if our bots that we're fixing to set up, off of 3 commas can communicate with their API. And
yeah. Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
So there's a lot of that we have to do before we sign on the dotted line on that one. But
still,
as long as that works out, but
yeah,
that'll be another one that we'll try to get into.
Yeah, nice. And it's obviously probably a long time person just saying great thanks to you guys for all your hard work, and obviously it's paying off now because you got a protocol that's doing quite well, which is awesome. And I think we kind of went through that, like whether you're going to close it off to new, like we kind of said whether you'd set a cap or not, kind of similarly, I guess.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah,
we're not.
And really, if you're going the EQ system, mechanics on getting started. So I think I did a video on getting started. I'm sure there's quite a few out there, Louise, but I'm not sure we'll go into that today unless we want to. But I mean, I think for the most part, there's lots of access to information for that. And I think I'm pretty confident. I know I have a video where I went through that anyways. And there'll be a link, obviously, for my Wolfpack. I don't care if you guys use it, use anybody's. A great thing if you want to think about sustainability is either making up your own if you've got a little network of people, or possibly using one of the smaller ones. You get less returns to start with, but then you help the protocol scale, which is definitely responsible as well. Did you want to say anything there, Trav? You look like you were about to.
No, you're good.
Migration. Yeah. So other than that, that's good. The questions we had, and like I said, I think I had some, but I think most of them were answered. I do appreciate the transparency. I appreciate what you guys are trying to do. I am chatting with Rio quite a few times online, and he's very responsive. So if you guys do have questions or comments or suggestions, I definitely do agree. They are very open to it and a very down to earth group, you guys, and I appreciate that because again, sometimes there's that gap between investor and founder, so to speak, and I appreciate you guys not doing that. Sorry, a couple of things just coming in. So are you guys looking to change the tax structure with new contract having 10% upfront loaded? Okay, gotcha. Is that part of the change or not to say now?
No, we haven't really talked about changing the tax structure. I know it's been brought up a couple times in some separate AMAs. Doing based off of the profits that we make is what we'd earn, but I guess I think what people don't really quite understand is the marketing side of it.
Yeah.
It's extremely expensive, and it's needed like today, and it's not something that we can just kind of hold off. And part of that reason why we've kind of launched, here the past 3 weeks with even more growth than what I expected, is because of our marketing campaign. So, it's just probably not the greatest idea right now.
Yeah, I know, and I see that, and at the same token, that money can become a reserve fund as well down the road. Like, there's lots of things that could be used for that, not just benefit you guys, and it seems like you're not using it just for that. But I get why people ask it, but I think see the other side of the coin a lot more than some, and agreed. And I guess that kind of comes. So the billboard has been a success for you guys. We quickly joked about it beforehand, because there's a little bit of PTSD amongst other people with that, but you found some benefit to that.
Yeah, so I mean, we've actually had a lot of new money coming in from DeFi. Because I'm really bad with going through all my DMs on Telegram. I get so many a day, so I kind of ignore a lot of them, and I ended up going through to kind of clean it up. And I've gotten message after message after message about people coming in that are brand new to DeFi,
Nice.
saying they saw the billboard, just let me know that they invested. Which is great because that's kind of one of the main reasons we launched. We wanted new money to start coming in DeFi, and show there can be an actual project that's trusted with a good team. That's not a rug. It's a legit operation, and we want to show the community that that's what we can do. And DeFi in this space, it can change for the better. And so a lot of that new money coming in is great for DeFi, and
Absolutely, but
not just for
obviously,
us.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But obviously, with that mindset too, though, is obviously it comes great responsibility, as the Spider-Man
yeah,
quote goes, because you are bringing new people in. They might go all in one project, not diversify. So, my little heat of warning, if that's happening, is to make sure that there's some education to go with it, or at least
exactly.
giving them the
Yeah,
direction to the education, because it's still not a very there's no customer service. So, but I
yeah,
do appreciate that. It's, again, I agree. I think that we do need more money brought into this space, and more honest people in the space. And so I appreciate what you're trying to do, and what you're doing with that. So, um, some of the I'm assuming you guys just saying, but I'm assuming you guys do take some money for yourselves. Whether you've started to yet, I don't know,
yeah.
but I presume there's some of that. You guys deserve it just as much as anybody, when you're paying us out 2% a day, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, no, the tax, our 10% way it's set up is 1% goes to the lottery, 4% goes to marketing, 3% goes to me, and then 2% goes to Ox.
Nice, yeah.
It goes to his development team. So, um, yeah,
Which makes sense, and that has to happen. And again, that's the other
yeah,
nice thing, and I don't think other people realize that, is the money you're taking in. It's not even just marketing; it's the lottery. Like, it's not like those tools that you guys have of the referral links and all that stuff are draining the contract like a lot of other projects do. It's
yeah,
actually used to benefit it in the back end. So, and it's not just as a money making thing, I guess, if you will, which
right.
again a lot of protocols don't do. So, but yeah. Other than that, I guess if you guys have any closing comments, obviously great answers. I agree, and the confidence is building, and I agree. And it's like I said, it's been a product that I kind of jumped into just when you guys were launching, I think, through Crypto Andy, and I
Yeah,
must admit I've been appreciated getting to know Rio, and obviously now yourself, Travis, and I appreciate what you guys are trying to bring to the space, and hope it continues in that direction. Any closing remarks from you guys?
I'd appreciate you having us on, man.
My pleasure.
And appreciate the support, especially from the beginning. You've done a hell of a job. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah, I
Anderson?
also want to thank you for having us, and for all the support that you have given Wolf Capital and our team since almost the very beginning. What I want to say, if anybody has any additional questions after the email here, just everybody's welcome on our community, either on Telegram or on Discord. You can ask us any question. We're gonna get that answered. Always do your own research, guys. Like Pocket Aces said, be diversified. At our team, we always say, don't invest your entire portfolio in Wolf Capital. Diversify yourself. Learn about other projects. Always make sure that you do your research as well on the team behind the project, because the people behind the project are also very important, not just the protocol itself. I want to thank you for having us again. This is just the very beginning of Wolf Capital. Like we've said 1,000 times, we're gonna continue to bring more transparency to the space and more value, which is key. And so we're gonna continue to innovate. That's what we're gonna do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. We'll end it at that.